Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What is up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
Let's let you tee us up on this one.
It's almost the 4th of July.
That's right.
It's one of my favorite holidays.
It's Independence Day, and 99.9% of Americans don't even know what we're independent from.
Exactly. So we wanted to wish our listeners, because I'm sure our listeners know what it's all about, but we wanted to wish our listeners a happy 4th of July.
Yes.
And we wanted to have a little, I guess, like sort of like a little synopsis of what it means. What is Independence Day all about?
I think we need that because, like I said, people have no idea.
I don't think a lot of people do. I think like a lot of people probably just think it's all about fireworks and barbecues,
hmm
you know?
And then now, I even think 4th of July is kind of considered white supremacist.
You know what?
They're
I
probably
think
like, it's so
I
racist.
think you're right because you know what I was noticing? Um, I was noticing like, okay, this is 250 years this year. This is the
hmm
celebration of 250 years of independence for this country. And it
hmm
seems like that would be a huge celebration, right? Like
But you barely see any.
you barely see anything
And
about
we're
it.
days away.
We're days away, and
And
when
weren't you
this
telling me,
episode airs, it's going to be like basically on that day or the day before.
but weren't you telling me we saw somebody who, when we had our bicentennial, they made a big deal about it.
Well, yeah, like when it was 1976, they did a big deal. It was like a huge
Dude,
thing.
I drove down.
1776 to
Do you
1976.
remember Raging Waters, that big water park?
Yeah, is that still around?
I don't know, but when I was a kid, we drove down to Raging Waters, and there was a huge mural out there that said 1776 to 1976.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mentioned it in one of our previous episodes that my grandparents it was such a big deal that they even had new linoleum flooring put in their house and they looked like little tiles and they said that some of the tiles said 1776 to
See
1976
that?
and there were Liberty Bells on the tiles.
And that's another thing too. Liberty Bells. The Culture Club does not like Liberty Bells
No.
because liberty, they don't want liberty.
Mm-mm.
They don't want you to have liberty. As a matter of fact, they want you to hurry up and get in your 15-minute cities and eat locust bean paste.
Totally.
That's not liberty. They
Mm-hmm.
don't they don't want you to drive your car. They don't want you to eat meat. They don't want you to have liberty.
No,
They have Arnold Schwarzenegger coming out during cooties and going, "Screw your freedom.
exactly.
Screw your freedom."
So let's talk a little bit about what Independence Day means and where it came from. Let's just have a little brief history lesson to remind people what it's all about. I feel like this sort of feels to me like that Charlie Brown Peanuts
Yes.
episode where they talked about Thanksgiving and what it means to have Thanksgiving, and they
Yeah.
did that at Christmas time too,
Yeah.
and what Christmas is all about. So we're gonna do one about the 4th of July.
It's the spirit of Christmas, but it's the spirit of 4th of July.
Yes.
Well, 4th of July is the celebration of our independence from what? What are we independent from? It's from England and their tyrannical control
Yeah.
over us. And what we did was we did what we recommend as a white pill for a lot of our episodes is we need to create alternatives.
Yes.
Well, that's what America did. We
Yes.
created an alternative.
We talk about this all the time. We need to have alternative um, societies, basically, with alternative solutions and alternative businesses that we can support and create like basically a new society. And this is exactly what they did
Yep.
in 1776.
That's exactly
That's
what they did.
exactly what they
They
did.
fought a war for it.
They fought a war. They got sick of being controlled by England and paying them taxes. It was taxation without representation, which I feel like we still have to this day.
That's not just your feeling, because taxation without representation means that you don't have any say in your government, but they still levy taxes on you.
Right,
That happens today because our elections are rigged. We don't have elections, we have selections. So I have no say in governance.
right.
So therefore, when I pay my taxes, I'm paying taxation without representation
Hmm.
because nobody in city hall, county government, state government, or federal government is looking out for me. Nobody. Zero people care about me. So therefore, every year when I go do my taxes, I'm paying taxes to a country that doesn't represent me. That's what got them pissed because they were paying taxes on the tea. And so they threw their tea in the harbor.
They had a big Boston Tea Party.
And what did we say? We said we can go throw our GLP-1s in the La Brea tar pit and have like the GLP party
Yeah,
because we need to do the same thing now.
we need to do the same thing. We need a big tea party.
We need a revolutionary war.
We do.
We need Revolutionary War 2.0, and that war probably is going to be global because this tyranny is global.
Right. And there, I mean, it's that would be fitting because what they want is a global governance, a one world order. So it would be fitting to have a global revolutionary war,
I think
you
so.
know?
And so what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do with our podcast is foment that.
I know.
I mean, we're trying to bring about like an alternative because that's what the United States was. When we declared our independence, when we signed the Declaration of Independence, we created an alternative to the tyranny of England. We created a country where all men are created equal and the pursuit of happiness. And we created a country where you have freedom. That's why they have Liberty Bells. You
Yeah,
have freedom and you don't live under tyranny and there's decentralized power and your voice matters and you have representation in your government and you have upward mobility. You can go start a company and thrive. And all of those things that make America great, they were all instilled in the Declaration of Independence and it's slowly but surely been eroded and eaten away. And now we're under the fear of tyranny. We're under the thumb of tyranny more heavily than we were even then.
totally.
So, Independence Day to me represents an alternative. It's an alternative to the status quo. The status quo is tyranny. You need to create an alternative.
So, you made a really great point a little while ago before we started recording, and I thought it was very profound and perfect. You were talking about the planters outside and how they were all dry,
Oh, yes.
and you said, they're all dried up and the plants are dry right now, but there could be a huge deluge of rain
Yeah.
and it could be all wet suddenly. And
Meaning it can be dramatically different than the way it is
yes,
to the point where it seems like a whole different world.
mm-hmm,
And when it's dry, you can't conceive of it being that wet.
right,
Or when it's wet, you can't conceive of it being dry
yeah,
because it seems so different than what is. But what I was thinking was that's kind of hopeful
it is.
because as tyrannical and dystopian as things are now,
Things can change.
things could change dramatically
Mm-hmm.
and you wouldn't even recognize what we're living
What's interesting is I think, you know, some people are on such a permanent blue pill that they don't want to know what's going on and they seem like they don't really care as long as they can like, you know, continue their life with their whatever it is that they enjoy and not think about anything. And I think that some people are so clueless that things could change drastically and dramatically, like you're saying, and it could go from like how it is now to something completely better. And I think a lot of people wouldn't even notice. Like they would just continue on as they have been and they would just be happy with it either way. But for the people that do know, it would make a huge difference and it would like really improve the future for our
That's a
generation and
good
our
point.
next generation, you know?
There's so many people who are just like, you know what? I'm not trying to rock the boat. I'm going to go along with whatever.
Yeah,
And that's just the way it goes. And those people, they don't care if it's tyranny or freedom.
yeah,
They're going to just toe the line.
yeah.
The Patriots only comprise 3% of the population.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
So what happens is a small group stands up against tyranny. And once it becomes clear that they're about to win and prevail, then everybody jumps on board
Yeah, that's true.
because people are front runners.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when the Lakers are in the finals. All of a sudden, you see everyone's got their
Yeah.
Laker
Then everybody's a
jerseys,
fan.
and everyone's a fan now. But they're not a fan when the Lakers are in last place,
Yeah.
you know. So that's the way it is with tyranny. Is the people who stand up against it are going to be the few, and they're going to be the very slim minority. But once they start to prevail, everyone jumps on the bandwagon.
And, I bet that's how it was even back then. I think there were a lot of really brave people who probably weren't as brainwashed and somatized and they were more used to fighting for things. But I bet there were also a lot of people who like didn't want to rock the boat and didn't want to stand up and they probably were just gonna like kind of go along. But then once the fight started and they saw that, you know, we were gonna get our freedom back, we were gonna be independent, then they probably all jumped on board and started throwing the tea in the harbor.
Absolutely. Well, look at Benedict Arnold.
Yeah.
He's a perfect example of a traitor. So he acted like he was a patriot, but was in bed with the tyrants of England the whole time. So there was a lot of people who, like the Tories, they wanted England and they were like, stop rocking the boat. We want to live under the thumb of England. And the Patriots ended up fighting against them. But some of them, when they saw that they were prevailing, said, oh, okay, well, whatever, I'll be free then.
They go whichever the way the wind blows.
That's what they do.
A lot of people are like that.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good
Yeah.
because that means you stand for nothing.
Well, we saw that happen a lot during cooties.
Totally.
There were a lot of people that just stood for nothing. They just kind of went with,
Arnold
yeah,
Schwarzenegger, screw your freedom.
yeah.
You stand for nothing. Or like The Offspring, the band that I like. I used to like them. I still like the songs that they came out with in the early 90s. And during Cooties, they kicked the guy out of the band because he wouldn't get the shot.
Mm,
And they made everybody that went to their show get the shot.
mhm. Those people are kind of standing for something. I'm talking about the people that just were like, you know, they knew that it was wrong and everything, but then they like went along with everything because like, oh, my work's telling me I need to do this,
Like
or
my Lyft driver, and he was like, I was like, "Did you get the shots, dude?" And he was like, "Well, I didn't want to. I was really against him, but this band that I really like, I had to get it to go see."
yeah, that's the kind of thing that's just like, what, or the people that like, kept wearing the masks even though they knew that they were pointless and stupid. but they didn't want to like say, no, I'm not putting a mask on to go into Trader Joe's. And they just went along with it. They just stood for nothing,
Yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of people like that where you go, wait a minute, this is fucked up and this is wrong, and they'll agree with you.
Yeah,
They'll
and
go, yeah.
they'll agree. And they're
They'll go,
like,
yeah,
oh,
I
I know
totally
it's
agree.
really bad, but then they just go along
And then
with
they
it.
go do it.
Those are the people that stand for nothing.
They stand for nothing. And you go, well, wait a second. They're just like, well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, when a lot of us stand up and we do something about it, it works, you know?
And they're actually, see, you might say, well, live and let live. They can have their mentality, but
Mm,
it's actually an obstacle to freedom because
yeah.
we need to get as many people on board as we can to defeat these elites that are trying to tyrannically control us.
Yeah,
So
and
that's actually bad that you think that way.
it is because when we've got people that stand for nothing and they are compliant to nonsensical, tyrannical mandates or whatever, they are just dragging us down with a sinking ship,
Yeah.
you know?
And they just come, they just go, okay, well, whatever. What are you going to do about it? You know?
Well, there's a lot we can do about it. We've seen our actions actually make a difference, you know?
It kind of reminds me of like that kid at 31 Flavors where I was like not wearing my mask and he's like, "Sir, you gotta wear your mask." And I was like, "Dude, you're ushering in tyranny." And he was like, "I don't care."
Yeah.
You know? It's like, dude, these people, they don't really care. It's kind of a nihilistic fatalism too.
Mhm.
Like, it's almost like Fat Steve. You've
Right.
got to go to the lifeboats. We hit an iceberg, and he's like, I'm having fun, dude. I think that's kind of what's going on with people now. They're just like, well, what are you going to do about it, dude?
Yeah,
I'm like, well, we can do something about it, and we need to start doing something about
right.
it. The time is now for our
Exactly.
kids
Yeah,
because we're not going to have a free country anymore. We
right.
don't have a free country now. We have the opportunity to take it back.
Totally.
And it's going to take kind of an American Revolution 2.0. Only this time, my spider sense is telling me it's going to be global.
Cool.
Maybe it'll take place in America first and then spread.
I think so. I think America is the example, and we're sort of like I think people look to us for as an example and for inspiration. And it's like if we can do it, then they'll follow, you know?
Well, think about like if you live in Australia,
Oh my
no
gosh.
one owns a gun there.
No.
There's total tyranny lording over you,
That's basically like commie China over there now.
and you have nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah.
Because if you try to form some movement, they're just going to throw you in prison.
It's see, that's what we don't want to get to that point here because Australia's they've gone off the deep end.
And what they'll do is they'll say freedom of speech has limits.
Yeah.
You have free-ish speech.
Yeah.
If you're saying stuff that we don't like, then that's not free.
That's you can't say that.
You're actually kind of fomenting a revolution. No, you can't say that.
Yeah.
You can say stuff like you think that 10,000 light years is real. That's good. You can say that. So I think for this episode, we need to reflect on 4th of July. Let's think about it. It's not just about hot dogs and hamburgers and fireworks.
Right.
Dude, I'm sick of fireworks because in my neighborhood, they light them off until like 3:30 in the freaking morning.
Wow.
It's like these people are just like fascinated with them. Like, okay, dude, like when I was a kid, my dad used to go things have changed. When I was a kid, they would have fireworks like selling places set up, like
Yeah.
temporary fireworks
They
sellers.
still have those.
And it would be temporary and it would be like a little booth
Yeah.
and you could go buy firecrackers. And it was firecrackers. They would have fireworks displays at some of the parks too.
Mhm.
And you could go watch a fireworks display. But sometimes my dad would just go in the street in front of our house and light off like those flowers. Did you ever
Ye-
remember those flowers?
Yes, I loved
They
those.
were
They
cool.
were cool. They spun around
They
on the
spun
floor.
around
Yeah.
and they'd make noise.
Yeah.
And then we would have sparklers and
Yes.
piccolo petes. And we would do like maybe an hour of those. But then by 9:30, 10 o'clock, we were packing it up, packing in, and going in the house. Not these days. Now it's like M80s until
I
3:30 in the morning.
know,
They
M80s.
totally light M80s.
My brother had some M500s once. It was like They were like
Dude, that's
half a
like
stick of
dynamite.
dynamite.
Totally.
He blew the bottom of, so the trash cans were metal back then, and he put it in the trash can, and it like made the whole trash can like fly up in the air, and the bottom of
That's
it blew out, like the whole bottom of the can blew out.
pretty cool.
It was gnarly. It was
That's
like
pretty
kind
cool.
of dangerous.
But see, even if you do that, that's like, okay, I don't mind if you make a big boom at like 4 in the afternoon,
Right.
but not at 3 in the morning.
No.
Dude,
Well, and I've noticed people start doing it like 3 days before too.
oh
It's
my
like they
God.
went out and got their fireworks and they just can't wait. So they
Yeah.
start like a few days early and they start setting them off.
The other thing I love about 4th of July is, we traditionally have always had hot dogs, hamburgers, potato chips, and
Potato
potato
salad.
salad. Very American fare.
Right.
We're kind of moving away from that. Now you might have Korean barbecue on 4th
And
of July.
curry.
Curry. Mm.
Some refried beans.
That's some chimichangas. Dude,
Tamales.
no. Have American fare.
It's like on Cinco de Mayo, we're not going to be eating hamburgers. We're
No.
going to have tacos. Right?
Plus, I'm not celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I bet we celebrate Cinco de Mayo more than 4th of July.
I think so.
You know, that sucks.
Hmm.
You know, it's almost like patriotism for America is frowned upon.
Hmm.
They don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't want you being patriotic about this country.
I don't think they do. I think they're discouraging it.
They do.
And I think, like I was telling you, I bet in some other areas it's being more celebrated. But like where we are in California, it's kind of hush hush. It's just like, oh, it's another holiday. I don't know. Are people even getting a 3-day weekend? Because 4th of July falls on a Saturday this year.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I
And you know
mean,
what? If you go, like, if you did a man on the street and just went and interviewed people on the street, they have no idea what 4th of July represents.
probably not.
They have no
We
idea
should
why it's
do that.
important to them.
We should go out and ask people
We
and
should
see, like
film it.
we could report on that, like in our next episode. We could do a follow-up episode. That would be
Dude,
fun and
totally.
funny,
Totally.
right?
Because it would be depressing.
We'd have to get a good sampling of the demographic, like, we could interview like a couple older people, some teenagers, like, get a good mix of
Older
everybody.
people would know exactly.
Older people should know,
They would
you know,
totally know.
but it would be a really good kind of a test and indication to see like what these kids are learning in school,
Like if you
right?
go up to some 20-year-old Vato and you go, "What does Independence Day mean?" He'll probably have no idea, dude.
I'll say Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo, that's right.
But what about going up to like a high school student? Shouldn't they all know?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't a
You'd
high
go up to a
shouldn't
20-year-old, they wouldn't know.
but shouldn't like all like 15-year-olds know because they've probably just been studying it in school? Like,
You would
you
think.
know what I mean?
I mean, doesn't American history kind of talk about that now?
Hmm.
But they don't know. They don't know. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if our history books lie to them now and tell them, well, America was very
It's very racist and it's xenophobic, but it's a day that people like to shoot
4th of
off
July is a
fireworks.
celebration of the racists, and pretty soon they're going to be exterminated.
Were they so at the original the Tea Party in Boston, did they shoot off fireworks? Were there fireworks on some of the boats? I kind of imagine that some of the things that they were
Well,
like shooting off the
The Tea
ends of,
Party was not a celebration. The Tea Party was an act of sedition.
but I think, okay, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think maybe during that battle there were explosives on some of the boats and those like got like
That became
that those like fell off the boat into
that could
firework, and
easily be
that kind of became the norm of the 4th of July. Am I wrong
because
about that? Or
no, I think you're right because our Star Spangled Banner that was written,
yeah,
it says the rocket's red
red
glare,
glare,
the
the
bombs
bombs
bursting
bursting
in
in
air
air. Yeah,
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. So that means that there was a battle.
that gave me chills.
Did that give you chills?
Yeah. I'm
See?
very affected by music and lyrics. I love
And
like
our Star
thinking
Spangled
about
Banner is
those.
such a beautiful song.
It is.
It's such a beautiful written.
So I think there were kind of like fireworks happening during the battle, and maybe that's what became the like symbol for like doing that every 4th of July as a celebration.
I think you're absolutely right. And we need to reflect upon that, audience. When you're looking at the fireworks, remember that they represent battles that had to be fought for freedom. Thomas Jefferson said, the tree of liberty needs to be watered occasionally with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
Mm,
So, what he's saying is
that's that's gnarly.
always there's like a cycle. There's freedom, and then freedom gets taken away by tyrants, and
Yep.
freedom fighters have to go fight for freedom again.
I think we're at the point where we have to fight for freedom again.
250 years is the fourth turning.
And it's about the length of every
It's the
civilization.
length of a civilization, and we're in the fourth turning of 80 years from World War II. So we're in a um, flux.
Hmm.
Now, the flux, in my opinion, is are we going to move into global tyranny or global freedom? I think at this point, we need to be freedom fighters worldwide.
I want freedom.
You ever seen that movie, The Step Brothers, with Will Ferrell?
Oh yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
they started a company called Prestige Worldwide. So, what we need to do is do freedom worldwide
Yeah.
because BlackRock owns the world
Yep.
and they are the tyranny.
They're against freedom
It's not the UK
worldwide.
anymore. We're not trying to get freedom from Britain.
No.
We're getting freedom from BlackRock.
Yep.
That's who is holding us down. We were talking in another episode about how BlackRock funds wokeism, and wokeism is ushering in communism,
Yep.
which is going to be the opposite. See, these people think communism's good. It's going to be the opposite of freedom.
I know. I don't know how we went from like when we were kids being taught that communism was a scary thing to now the kids are being taught that communism is a good thing.
They don't know what it
They
is.
don't know what it is. They think like they're all going to get free stuff, but how long do you think that somebody's going to keep giving you free stuff without expecting something in return?
They're
You
so
know?
stupid.
Yeah.
They're so stupid.
I mean, there is no such thing as a free lunch, and all the free stuff comes with a price. They
The
don't get
other
it.
the other misnomer that these idiot communists think is that equality, everything should be equal.
Yeah.
No. If I
Yeah.
if I go and like I work out every single day, should I have a big fat flabby body like a dude who just eats McDonald's and sits in his house in his recliner?
No. And the reverse is true.
Yeah. He doesn't deserve to have a good, healthy body that's in shape because
Right.
he doesn't work for it
Yeah.
every single day.
Yeah.
So therefore, there is no equality.
No.
If you are broke because you just sit around eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and smoking weed, then you're broke and you deserve to be broke. That's another thing too, is a lot of people get what they deserve and they
Hmm.
can't come to terms with that.
That's true.
So they go, communism's just better because then we have equality. So I get whatever you get regardless.
Yeah. And then it's like, one person is working and earning all this money, and then he has to give half of it away to somebody else. Like,
Totally.
that doesn't seem fair.
Well, we didn't used to have income tax.
No.
We didn't have income tax until 1913.
And we shouldn't have it today.
It went into place. 1913 was a brutal year. We got income tax and the Federal Reserve.
Mm,
So we got to get away from that. We got to get away from depending on big daddy government.
mm-hmm.
Let's have decentralized power. Let's have city councils be strong and filled with representatives of their community so that everybody's feeling like their voice is being represented in our nation and that they matter and that there's a social contract with the government. All of that is gone right now.
Yeah.
So the white pill for this one is let's do 4th of July again. Let's do an Independence Day again.
Let's do it.
We'll have a new Independence Day. This Independence Day will always be celebrated to celebrate America, but maybe this one will be like August 18th is worldwide Independence Day because we finally defeated the tyranny of BlackRock. And I think that's what it is. That country from 1948. And what we can do is we can pretty much say that country from 1948 is BlackRock.
Totally.
Any other white bills you prescribe on this one?
Um, I think that was good. I think, if everybody realizes that it's time for another revolution, I think we're onto something.
It's Revolution 2.0.
And I think as people are celebrating this 4th of July and celebrating, like, this is a pretty big one, I think. It could be the end of our civilization soon. I think we should think on back to the very first one and think about how the 4th of July started and where it came from. And we should celebrate our freedom.
Celebrate our freedom, what's left of it.
Yeah.
Remember that people move from other countries like those World Cup dudes. Remember, they're coming
Yeah.
here and they're like, "Oh my God, America is so amazing. Look at this ground beef." So we have to remember that even though, like, if you're our age, you have a different perspective because you've watched America go from being awesome in the 80s to the third world hellhole that it is now. But even the third world hellhole that it is now is
It's
still better.
better than the like actual world hellholes.
Totally.
Yeah,
And I mean,
it's still
people
better.
still have some modicum of freedom. Let's use that freedom while we still can and save it.
Exactly. That's
How about
perfect.
that?
That's great. I love it.
All
Happy
right.
4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. And don't light off firecrackers till 3 in the morning, please. Okay.
Bye.